What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Entrepreneurial Edge. And today we're talking about empires, revolutions, and some serious tech. We're diving deep into the story of Android, how a small startup took on giants like Microsoft and Palm, ultimately becoming the most dominant force in the smartphone world. If you've ever used a smartphone, chances are you've touched Android in some way, so hit that like button and subscribe. Let's unpack this tech revolution. Every tech giant has an origin story, and for Android, it all starts with this guy, Andy Rubin. Now, Rubin was already a bit of a legend in the tech world even before Android. He cut his teeth at companies like Apple and General Magic, which, if you don't know, was working on touchscreen devices way back in the early 90s. Talk about ahead of their time. But it was in 2000 that things really got cooking. Rubin co-founded a company called Danger, and they built this device called the Hip Top, later known as the Sidekick. Remember that thing? The phone that flipped open sideways with the full keyboard? Yeah, that was Rubin's brainchild. It was innovative, it was different, and it was a glimpse into how Rubin thought about mobile. Danger was eventually acquired by Microsoft, but Rubin's entrepreneurial spirit wasn't satisfied. He had a bigger vision, a bolder idea, an idea that would change the mobile landscape forever. That brings us to 2003, the year Android was officially founded. Now, back then, the smartphone market was a very different beast. We had Palm with their PDAs, BlackBerry dominating the business world, and Microsoft trying to make a splash with Windows Mobile. But Rubin saw a different future for mobile. He envisioned a world where smartphones weren't just for the elite few, but for everyone. And the key to unlocking that future was open source. See, most mobile operating systems at the time were closed ecosystems, controlled by a single company. Rubin wanted to break down those walls. He believed that by making Android open source, allowing anyone to use and modify it, he could foster innovation and drive down prices, making smartphones accessible to the masses. In 2005, Google saw the potential of Rubin's vision and acquired Android. This was a game changer. Google's vast resources and engineering prowess would prove invaluable in bringing Android to the world. But then, in 2007, everything changed. Apple launched the iPhone. Now, I don't need to tell you how revolutionary the iPhone was. It completely redefined what a smartphone could be, with its intuitive touchscreen interface and sleek design. The iPhone was a wake-up call for the entire mobile industry, including Android. But instead of being intimidated, Google saw the iPhone's success as an opportunity. They knew they had to step up their game. And step up they did. In 2008, just a year after the iPhone debuted, the first Android phone hit the market, the HTC Dream, also known as the T-Mobile G1. It wasn't the sleekest device and it didn't have the polish of the iPhone, but it represented a major milestone for Android. The Dream proved that an open-source mobile OS could be a viable competitor in the smartphone arena. It wasn't just about the hardware, though. It was about the software experience. Android brought features like customizable home screens, widgets, and notifications to the table, features that were unheard of at the time. It was the beginning of Android's philosophy of openness and customization, a stark contrast to the walled garden of the iPhone. And people took notice. Developers flocked to the platform, drawn by its flexibility and open nature. Manufacturers saw the potential of offering a more affordable and customizable alternative to the iPhone. And the rest, as they say, is history. Android's market share exploded. It surpassed iOS in 2010 and has remained the dominant mobile operating system ever since. But Android's journey hasn't been without its challenges. One of the biggest criticisms leveled at Android has been fragmentation. With so many manufacturers producing Android devices, each with their own custom skins and modifications, ensuring a consistent user experience across all devices has been a constant struggle.
Fragmentation has always been a double-edged sword for Android. On one hand, it allows for incredible diversity and innovation. On the other, it can lead to inconsistencies and a fragmented user experience.
But amidst the fragmentation, Android has continued to innovate. It has pushed the boundaries of mobile technology, introducing features like voice search, AI assistance, and foldable displays long before they became mainstream.
Android's innovation is what keeps it ahead. They're always looking forward, always pushing the envelope. It's exciting to see where they'll go next.
And as we look to the future, Android shows no signs of slowing down. It's expanding beyond smartphones, powering smartwatches, TVs, cars, and even home appliances. So that's the story of Android, a story of innovation, disruption, and ultimately, domination. From a small startup with a big idea to the most popular mobile operating system on the planet, Android's journey is a testament to the power of open source and the transformative impact technology can have on our lives. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next deep dive. As always, thanks for watching. Peace.
Remember the internet? Remember it? Before Google, before smartphones, back when connecting meant the ear-splitting shriek of a dial-up modem? If you're old enough to recall those dark ages, then you remember AOL. In the 1990s, AOL the internet for millions of people. They were the Google of their day, the inescapable gateway to this strange new world of chat rooms, email, and flashing banner ads. Today, Google dominates our online lives, but back then, AOL ruled the digital landscape. They were the kings of the information superhighway, long before Mark Zuckerberg even of poking someone. AOL's story is a classic tale of boom and bust. It's a reminder that even the most dominant companies can fall from grace. And it all started, believe it or not, with a company called GameLine. GameLine wasn't exactly a household name. Founded in 1982, their big idea was to let people download video games over their phone lines. Think of it as the prehistoric ancestor to Xbox Live or PlayStation Network. Sadly, the technology back then was about as sophisticated as a potato. Plus, the 1983 video game crash didn't help. GameLine went belly up faster than you can say E.T. for Atari. But from the ashes of that failure rose a new company control video corporation, later renamed Quantum Link, or Q-Link for you cool kids. This time they ditched the whole downloading games thing and focused on building an online community. It was still the Wild West of online services, with competitors like CompuServe and Prodigy vying for users. Q-Link offered chat rooms, forums, and even early online games. It was a hit with users of the Commodore 64, the hottest computer at the time. Look it up, kids. They even struck a deal with Apple to create Apple Link, a similar service for the burgeoning Apple II and Macintosh crowd. But Q-Link's biggest move was yet to come. In 1989, Quantum Link decided to reinvent itself. They needed a name that screamed, "We're the future of online." And so, America Online, or AOL, was born. AOL's timing was impeccable. Personal computers were becoming more common, and people were hungry to explore this new online world. AOL made it easy. Their software was simple to use even for the technologically challenged. And their marketing was. Remember those ubiquitous CD-ROMs? AOL practically invented carpet bombing with those things. Millions of people got their first taste of the internet through AOL's walled garden. It was a simpler time when email came with that iconic "you've got mail" voice and chat rooms were all the rage. But AOL's success came at a cost. At the top of the world, AOL's peak and fateful acquisitions. By the late 1990s, AOL was riding high. They had millions of subscribers, their stock price was soaring, and they were buying up every promising tech company they could get their hands on. They snapped up ICQ, the wildly popular instant messaging service, and Netscape, the once dominant web browser. AOL was the undisputed king of the dot-com bubble. But cracks were beginning to show. AOL's infrastructure struggled to keep up with the ever-growing number of users. Busy signals and dropped connections became a fact of life for many. And then there was the AOL-Time Warner merger. This, my friends, is where the wheels really came off. Dot-com doom, the AOL-Time Warner debacle, and the fall from grace. In 2000, at the height of the dot-com frenzy, AOL announced it was merging with media giant Time Warner. It was a deal that was supposed to create a media and technology behemoth. Instead, it became a cautionary tale of corporate hubris and one of the worst mergers in history. The cultures of the two companies clashed like a Mariah Carey high note hitting a dial-up modem. The dot-com bubble burst, taking AOL's stock price down with it. And then broadband internet came along and stole AOL's lunch money. Suddenly, those free CDs were about as enticing as a free pet rock. People were ditching dial-up in droves for the speed and always-on convenience of broadband. AOL's walled garden, once a cozy refuge, now felt like a digital prison. The writing was on the wall, and it was written in Comic Sans. Life after death. AOL's legacy in the age of broadband. AOL never fully recovered from the dot-com bust and the Time Warner debacle. They shifted their focus to advertising and content, buying up websites like the Huffington Post and TechCrunch. But they were a shadow of their former selves. In 2015, AOL was acquired by Verizon, marking the end of an era. Today, AOL exists mostly as a brand name, a relic of a bygone internet age. But their story, like a forgotten GeoCities page, serves as a reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in the tech world. And that, my friends, is the entrepreneurial edge. Be sure to like and subscribe for more tales of corporate triumph and disaster. Welcome to Entrepreneurial Edge. In today's video, we explore the journey of Ferrari, from blacksmith to luxury icon. Stay tuned. Enzo Ferrari. A name synonymous with speed, power, and a certain shade of red that gets your heart pumping. Before the legend, there was just a young boy from Modena, Italy, with a need for speed. Born in 1898, Enzo's life was touched by excitement and tragedy. The dawn of the automobile captivated young Enzo. He dreamed of racing, of pushing machines to their limits. World War I cast a long shadow over Enzo's youth. It robbed him of his father, his brother, and nearly his own life. This determination would define his life and become the driving force behind the empire he would build.
But one thing remained constant: my love affair with speed. This passion would lead me to the starting line of a journey that would change motorsport forever.
After the war, Enzo Ferrari, now a young man with a point to prove, set his sights on the world of motor racing. He started as a test driver, a far cry from the glory of the racetrack, but it was a foot in the door. He raced cars too, but success eluded him. His talent, however, didn't go unnoticed. In 1920, he joined Alfa Romeo, not as a driver, but as a dealer and racer for their cars. This was a pivotal moment for Enzo. It was here, under the emblem of the Visione, that he learned the intricacies of building not just fast cars, but winning cars.
I proved myself to be a shrewd businessman and a gifted manager. I assembled a team of talented drivers and mechanics, forming the Scuderia Ferrari racing team in 1929. This wasn't just a team. It was a family, united by our shared passion for racing and our unwavering belief in my vision.
Under Enzo's leadership, Scuderia Ferrari quickly made a name for itself, becoming a force to be reckoned with on the European racing circuit. The team's success brought fame and fortune, but it also brought Enzo into conflict with the Alfa Romeo management. You see, Enzo had a vision. He didn't just want to build fast cars, he wanted to build the fastest cars the world had ever seen. He wanted to create a legacy that would outlive him, a legacy built on speed, power, and Italian artistry. This vision put him at odds with Alfa Romeo, who wanted to maintain control over their racing efforts. The relationship soured, and in 1939, Enzo Ferrari made a bold decision.
I broke away from Alfa Romeo, severing ties to build my own racing cars. There was just one small problem: a pesky little clause in my contract that prevented me from using the Ferrari name for racing purposes for 4 years.
A star rises from the ashes of war. World War II threw the world into chaos. Factories were repurposed for war production, and motorsport ground to a halt.
I had to relocate my factory from Modena to Maranello, linking the two names in automotive history.
During the war, Ferrari's factory produced machine tools, far from the roaring engines he was known for. But Enzo never lost sight of his dream.
I continued to design and develop my own cars, waiting for the day racing would return.
That day came in 1947 when the first Ferrari, the 125S, rolled out of Maranello. It was a beautiful machine, a testament to Enzo's passion and Italian craftsmanship. The 125S was just the beginning. It marked the start of a new era, dominated by the prancing horse. Triumph and tragedy. The post-war years were a time of both triumph and tragedy for Ferrari. The team quickly established itself as a dominant force in motorsport, winning races and championships across various disciplines.
The name Ferrari became synonymous with success. Drivers like myself and Juan Manuel Fangio etched our names into the annals of motorsport history behind the wheel of Ferrari's machines.
Ascari's back-to-back Formula One championships in 1952 and 1953 cemented Ferrari's place at the pinnacle of motorsport. The world marveled at the speed and beauty of Ferrari's cars, and the team's scarlet-red livery became a symbol of power and prestige on and off the track.
But tragedy struck in 1955 when I was killed in a testing accident at Monza. The loss devastated Enzo, who had developed a close personal relationship with me.
The walkout and the comeback. The late 1950s and early 1960s were tumultuous times for Ferrari. The team continued to achieve success on the track, but internal tensions began to rise.
My management style, often described as autocratic and demanding, led to clashes with key figures within the team.
Things came to a head in 1961 when a disagreement with Enzo over his wife's involvement in the company led to the departure of several key personnel, including Carlo Chiti, the team manager, and several prominent engineers. This event, known as the Great Walkout, could have crippled Ferrari, but Enzo, as he always did, faced adversity head-on.
I rebuilt my team, bringing in fresh talent and doubling down on my commitment to innovation.
The result was a string of legendary cars, including the 250 GTO, widely regarded as one of the most beautiful and desirable cars ever made, and the 330 P4, a car that humiliated Ford at Le Mans in 1967. The Fiat years and the legacy of Enzo. By the late 1960s, the financial pressures of running a successful racing team and a growing car company began to take their toll on Ferrari.
Recognizing the need for a partner, Enzo Ferrari made a deal with Fiat in 1969, selling a 50% stake in the company to the Italian giant.
The Fiat partnership provided Ferrari with the financial security and resources it needed to continue its dominance in motorsport and expand its road car production. Enzo Ferrari remained at the helm, retaining control over the racing team and maintaining his influence over the company's direction.
He continued to oversee the development of iconic cars like the Dino, named after his late son, and the Boxer, solidifying Ferrari's reputation for building high-performance, luxurious sports cars.
Enzo Ferrari passed away in 1988 at the age of 90, leaving behind a legacy that few could even dream of matching. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel, Entrepreneurial Edge, for more inspiring stories. If you're a car enthusiast, then you need to hear the incredible journey of Lamborghini, from humble tractors to luxury sports cars. Born in 1916, Ferruccio Lamborghini wasn't just any Italian kid. He loved machines, cars, tractors, you name it. He was fascinated by them. This passion led him to become a mechanic in the Royal Italian Air Force during World War II. But war is a dirty business, and when it ended, Ferruccio saw an opportunity. He took leftover military equipment, the kind nobody wanted anymore, and turned it into something useful: agricultural machinery. Farmers needed tractors, and Ferruccio was happy to supply them. In 1947, he founded his first company, and just like that, he was in business. His tractors were a hit. They were reliable, powerful, and just what Italian farmers needed to rebuild after the war. By 1950, Lamborghini Trattori, as his company was known, was pumping out 200 tractors a year. That's a lot of tractors. Ferruccio's business was booming. He expanded his factory and started dreaming bigger. Little did he know, his journey was about to take a very interesting turn. Ferruccio was a successful businessman with a taste for fast cars. He owned a Ferrari, a car many could only dream of, but Ferruccio felt the Ferrari was rough around the edges, especially the clutch. He went to Enzo Ferrari and told him his sports car needed work. Enzo wasn't pleased and told Ferruccio to stick to his tractors. Furious, Ferruccio decided to build a better sports car. In 1963, Automobili Lamborghini was born. Ferruccio chose a bull as the emblem for his new car company. The battle of the Italian supercars had begun. Ferruccio wasn't messing around. He wanted to build a car that would make Enzo Ferrari weep. In 1964, he unveiled the Lamborghini 350 GT, a sleek, powerful machine that immediately turned heads. It was clear Lamborghini wasn't just another car company, they were here to challenge the status quo. But Ferruccio wasn't done. He wanted to create a car so extraordinary, so revolutionary, that it would redefine what a sports car could be. In 1966, his dream became a reality with the Lamborghini Miura P400. This wasn't just a car, it was a masterpiece. With its groundbreaking rear mid-engine layout and breathtaking design, the Miura set a new standard for high-performance cars. It was a sensation. Suddenly, everyone wanted a Lamborghini. The company went from strength to strength, releasing a string of successful models that cemented its place among the world's most desirable car brands. Ferruccio had shown the world what happens when you tell a tractor tycoon he can't build a sports car. Economic headwinds and shifting gears. The 1970s were a turbulent time for the world, and the auto industry was no exception. The oil crisis hit everyone hard, and Lamborghini was no different. A massive tractor deal with Bolivia fell through at the last minute. Strikes and unionization at his factories took their toll on Ferruccio. In 1972, he sold his stake in the company and retired. He retreated to his vineyard, leaving the world of roaring engines behind. Lamborghini went through a series of ownership changes. The Mimran brothers took over, then Chrysler, and finally the Volkswagen Group in 1998. Through it all, the spirit of Ferruccio Lamborghini lived on. A legacy of power and prestige. Under Volkswagen's ownership, Lamborghini found stability and a renewed focus. The Gallardo, introduced in 2003, became a massive success, selling over 14,000 units during its 10-year production run. It proved that Lamborghini could produce a car that was both exhilarating to drive and relatively affordable. Well, as affordable as a Lamborghini can be. But Lamborghini never forgot its roots. They continued to push the boundaries of performance and design. The Murcielago, with its iconic scissor doors, became an instant classic. The Aventador, unveiled in 2011, was a technological marvel, with a screaming V12 engine and a body sculpted from carbon fiber. And then there's the Urus, Lamborghini's first SUV. Purists scoffed, but the Urus, with its practicality and supercar performance, has become a runaway success. It seems Ferruccio's knack for knowing what people want, even before they know it themselves, lives on in the company he built. A legacy of power and prestige. From humble beginnings in a post-war tractor factory to the pinnacle of automotive excellence, Lamborghini's story is one of ambition, innovation, and a relentless pursuit of perfection. Ferruccio Lamborghini's legacy lives on, not just in the roaring engines and head-turning designs of his cars, but also in the spirit of daring to dream big and never backing down from a challenge. And that, my friends, is the story of how a tractor tycoon from Italy, fueled by a simple insult, created one of the most iconic car brands in the world. It's a story that proves that with enough passion, determination, and maybe a little bit of stubbornness, anything is possible. If you enjoyed this tale of entrepreneurial spirit and automotive brilliance, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Entrepreneurial Edge for more inspiring stories from the world of business and beyond. Until next time, keep your engines revving and your dreams big.
Welcome back to Entrepreneurial Edge, everybody, and let's talk about business. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and honestly kind of sad story of how eBay, once a behemoth in the e-commerce world, seemed to lose its edge. I mean, think about it. eBay was around before Amazon. They had this whole online auction thing going on and everything. So what happened? We'll be covering that and more in this video. But before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content like this. Let's rewind to 1995. The internet was a new frontier. Pierre Omidyar had a crazy idea. Create a website to buy and sell anything. Not just new stuff, but used stuff too. He built AuctionWeb, hosted on his personal website, ebay.com. One of the first things sold, a broken laser pointer, and someone actually bought it. So AuctionWeb, or eBay as we know it, started gaining traction. People loved the idea of buying and selling directly from each other, cutting out the middleman. And the fact that there weren't a ton of rules in the beginning? Well, that just added to the whole Wild West vibe of the platform. You could find some pretty crazy stuff on there. By 1996, eBay was exploding. I'm talking millions of users and tons of transactions happening every single day. That's when Pierre realized, hey, I can actually make some serious money off of this. So he started charging small commissions on each sale, and boom, eBay's primary revenue model was born. By 1998, eBay was huge, but still a scrappy startup. They needed serious business chops. Enter Meg Whitman. Meg Whitman was a seasoned executive from Hasbro and Procter & Gamble. She brought in much-needed structure. She got rid of controversial product categories and launched a massive marketing campaign. In September 1998, eBay had its IPO. The stock price skyrocketed from $18 to over $53. With Meg Whitman at the helm, eBay went on a shopping spree, acquiring companies left and right. They wanted to be the one-stop shop for everything you could possibly want to buy online. One of their smartest moves was acquiring PayPal in 2002 for a cool $1.5 billion. Back then, people were still wary of putting their credit card information online, but PayPal provided a safe and easy way to pay for things online. It was a match made in e-commerce heaven. They also bought Skype in 2005 for a whopping $2.6 billion. The idea was to integrate Skype into eBay, so buyers and sellers could communicate directly. But this acquisition didn't really pan out as they hoped. Skype was eventually sold to Microsoft in 2011 at a loss. The Amazon threat emerges. Now, while eBay was busy expanding its empire, a little company called Amazon was quietly building its own e-commerce dominance. See, Amazon was all about convenience. They offered things like free shipping, easy returns, and a massive selection of products, all at competitive prices. eBay, on the other hand, was still heavily reliant on its auction format, which could be time-consuming and, let's be honest, a little bit clunky. In 2008, eBay's leadership recognized the threat Amazon posed and tried to pivot the company to compete more directly. They launched their own version of Buy It Now to rival Amazon's instant purchasing, but it was too little, too late. The breakup, eBay and PayPal go their separate ways. By the 2010s, eBay was facing some serious challenges. Their growth had slowed, and activist investor Carl Icahn was putting pressure on the company to make some big changes. Many believed that eBay was holding PayPal back and that the two companies would be more valuable as separate entities. And you know what? They were right. In 2015, eBay announced that it would be spinning off PayPal into its own publicly traded company. The split was a huge success for PayPal, which saw its stock price skyrocket in the years that followed. eBay, however, continued to struggle. eBay today, can the once giant survive? So where does eBay stand today? Well, it's still a major player in the e-commerce space, but it's a shadow of its former self. Amazon has become the undisputed king of online retail, and eBay has struggled to keep up. They're still known for their auctions, of course, but that's not really enough to compete in today's market. They've tried to innovate, launching things like eBay Guaranteed Delivery to compete with Amazon Prime, but nothing seems to be moving the needle. So, can eBay turn things around? It's hard to say. They need to find a way to differentiate themselves from Amazon and offer something unique that customers can't get anywhere else. Otherwise, they risk becoming the next MySpace, a once dominant platform that's now a distant memory. Thanks for sticking with me today as we explored the roller coaster ride that is eBay's history. It's a cautionary tale of a company that was once at the forefront of innovation, but ultimately failed to adapt to the changing e-commerce landscape. So what do you think eBay needs to do to stay relevant in today's market? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world of business and entrepreneurship. Until next time, take care and stay hungry for success.
Welcome to Entrepreneurial Edge. In today's video, we explore how Samsung became the giant it is today. Stay tuned. What's something people don't know about Samsung's humble beginnings? In 1938, as the world teetered on the brink of war, Lee Byung-chul laid the foundation for what would become one of the most recognizable names in technology, Samsung. It was a time of great uncertainty and upheaval, but also a time ripe with opportunity for those willing to seize it. Starting as a modest trading company based in Daegu, Korea, Samsung's early operations focused on exporting goods like fish, vegetables, and noodles to nearby China. These were humble beginnings, but they laid the groundwork for something much larger. With a keen eye for opportunity and an unwavering work ethic, Lee Byung-chul navigated the challenging economic climate of the time, gradually expanding his business and laying the groundwork for future growth. His vision was not just limited to trading. He saw potential in diversifying into other sectors. Little did he know that his fledgling enterprise would one day evolve into a global behemoth, revolutionizing industries and shaping the technological landscape. The seeds of innovation were sown early, and they would bear fruit in ways unimaginable at the time. From these humble beginnings, Samsung's journey exemplifies the transformative power of innovation, strategic decision-making, and a close relationship between government and industry. This synergy was crucial in navigating the complexities of a rapidly changing world. The seeds of this success were sown in those early years, as Lee Byung-chul's vision and determination set the stage for Samsung's remarkable ascent. It was a testament to the power of perseverance and forward thinking. The world was on the cusp of drastic change, but amidst the uncertainty, Samsung found its footing. The company's resilience and adaptability were key to its early success. The company's early success was a testament to Lee Byung-chul's business acumen and his ability to adapt to the ever-shifting tides of commerce. His leadership was instrumental in navigating the challenges of the time. As Samsung established itself as a reliable trading partner, it became deeply intertwined with the fate of its fledgling nation. The company's growth mirrored the economic development of South Korea. The company's story would soon become inseparable from the story of South Korea's own remarkable economic transformation. Together, they would rise to new heights, shaping the future in ways that continue to resonate today. The outbreak of World War II and the subsequent Japanese occupation of Korea presented formidable challenges for Samsung, altering the course of its early history. The company's operations were severely disrupted, and the economic landscape became increasingly treacherous, making it difficult to sustain business as usual. Yet, even amidst the turmoil, Samsung's leadership recognized the importance of maintaining a presence in the market, understanding that perseverance was key to survival. The company skillfully navigated the complexities of the wartime economy, securing contracts with the Japanese military and expanding its operations into new areas like manufacturing, which was crucial for its survival. This period proved to be a crucial test for Samsung's resilience and adaptability, pushing the company to its limits. While the company faced numerous obstacles, it also encountered unexpected opportunities that could be leveraged for future growth. The Japanese government's focus on industrial development in Korea led to an influx of investment and infrastructure projects which Samsung capitalized on, laying the groundwork for future expansion. The company's willingness to work within the constraints of the occupation, while simultaneously positioning itself for future growth, would serve it well in the years to come, ensuring its long-term viability. As the war raged on, Samsung's operations continued to expand, albeit under the watchful eye of the Japanese authorities, who monitored every move. The company's ability to adapt and thrive during this turbulent period spoke volumes about its leadership and its unwavering commitment to survival and growth. Little did anyone know that the lessons learned during these challenging times would prove invaluable, as Samsung navigated the uncertainties of the post-war world and embarked on a path of unprecedented growth and diversification, shaping its future success. The end of World War II brought about a new set of challenges and opportunities for Korea, and Samsung was no exception. The Korean War further devastated the peninsula, leaving the country in ruins. However, amidst the devastation, a spirit of resilience and a determination to rebuild took hold. Under Lee Byung-chul's steadfast leadership, Samsung emerged from the conflict with a renewed sense of purpose and a commitment to contributing to the nation's recovery. Recognizing the pivotal role that the private sector would play in rebuilding the war-torn nation, the South Korean government implemented policies designed to foster economic growth. These policies included financial assistance, tax breaks, and other incentives aimed at encouraging investment and entrepreneurship. Samsung, with its proven track record of resilience and adaptability, was well positioned to take advantage of these government initiatives. The company's focus shifted from simply surviving to actively contributing to the nation's reconstruction efforts. Lee Byung-chul understood that Samsung's success was inextricably linked to the prosperity of South Korea. This sense of shared destiny fueled the company's growth and shaped its corporate philosophy. As Samsung expanded its operations, it did so with an eye towards not only generating profits, but also creating jobs, fostering innovation, and contributing to the greater good. The 1950s and 1960s witnessed a remarkable period of economic growth in South Korea, often referred to as the Miracle on the Han River. This era marked a significant transformation for the nation, setting the stage for its future as an economic powerhouse. During this time, the South Korean government, under the leadership of Park Chung-hee, implemented a series of export-oriented economic policies. These policies were designed to stimulate rapid industrialization and economic development. These policies, coupled with significant financial aid from the United States, created a favorable environment for businesses like Samsung to flourish. The influx of international aid was crucial in building the necessary infrastructure for economic growth. The government's emphasis on industrialization and export-led growth aligned perfectly with Samsung's ambitions. This alignment allowed Samsung to take full advantage of the new economic landscape. Seizing the opportunities presented by these favorable economic conditions, Samsung embarked on an ambitious diversification strategy. This strategy was not just about expanding into new markets, but also about building a resilient business model. The company expanded into a wide range of industries, including textiles, insurance, retail, and even shipbuilding. Each new industry represented a strategic move to strengthen Samsung's market position. This strategic diversification allowed Samsung to mitigate risks, capitalize on emerging markets, and solidify its position as a major player in the South Korean economy. Diversification was key to Samsung's long-term success and stability. Each new venture, though seemingly disparate, contributed to the company's growing portfolio and strengthened its overall market presence. This approach ensured that Samsung could weather economic fluctuations and continue to grow. This period of rapid expansion transformed Samsung from a relatively small trading company into a sprawling conglomerate with interests in a wide range of sectors. The company's growth mirrored the broader economic development of South Korea. This diversification not only fueled the company's growth but also played a crucial role in South Korea's economic transformation. Samsung's success story became a symbol of the nation's potential and ambition. As Samsung thrived, so too did the nation, with the company's success serving as a testament to the effectiveness of the government's economic policies and the potential of Korean businesses on the global stage. The synergy between government support and corporate ambition was a driving force behind this remarkable period of growth. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel, Entrepreneurial Edge, for more content like this.
Am I the only one that didn't know Monsanto started its journey in 1901? A man named John Queeny founded the company in St. Louis, Missouri. The company's first product was saccharin. Saccharin is an artificial sweetener. Coca-Cola was one of Monsanto's first customers.
Monsanto grew quickly. It soon expanded its product line. The company started making caffeine and vanillin. These are used in food and beverages. During World War I, Monsanto became a supplier for the U.S. government. The company manufactured chemicals for the war effort. This established Monsanto as a major player in the chemical industry. After the war, Monsanto continued to expand. It developed new products and entered new markets. The company's focus shifted towards industrial chemicals. This would have significant implications for its future. In the decades following World War II, Monsanto emerged as a leading producer of industrial chemicals. These chemicals were used in a wide range of products. They were in everything from plastics and paints to pesticides and herbicides. One of Monsanto's most profitable products was polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs. PCBs were used in electrical equipment like transformers. However, PCBs were later found to be highly toxic. They persist in the environment and accumulate in the food chain. They pose serious risks to human health and the environment. Monsanto also produced large quantities of the pesticide DDT. DDT was initially hailed as a miracle chemical for its effectiveness in controlling malaria-carrying mosquitoes. However, it was later discovered that DDT also had harmful effects on wildlife, particularly birds. The use of DDT was banned in many countries after the publication of Rachel Carson's Silent Spring, which exposed its dangers. Perhaps the most controversial chemical produced by Monsanto was Agent Orange. Agent Orange was a herbicide used by the U.S. military during the Vietnam War. It was used to defoliate forests and destroy enemy crops. Agent Orange contained a highly toxic dioxin contaminant. This dioxin caused severe health problems for Vietnamese civilians and American veterans, including cancer, birth defects, and other serious illnesses.
In the 1970s, Monsanto began to shift its focus away from industrial chemicals. The company saw a new opportunity in the emerging field of agricultural biotechnology. This marked a turning point in the company's history. Monsanto invested heavily in research and development. They sought to apply the principles of biotechnology to agriculture. The goal was to improve crop yields and reduce the need for pesticides and herbicides.
In the early 1980s, Monsanto achieved a major breakthrough. Scientists at the company successfully genetically modified a plant cell. This paved the way for the development of genetically modified crops, or GMOs. These crops were engineered to have desirable traits such as resistance to herbicides or insects. Monsanto's foray into agricultural biotechnology was driven by a desire to improve agriculture and increase food production. However, it also sparked controversy. Critics raised concerns about the potential risks of GMOs to human health and the environment. They argued that not enough was known about the long-term effects of these new technologies.
Monsanto's genetically modified seeds really changed the game for U.S. farmers. With these seeds, we saw an increase in crop yields and a decrease in the use of pesticides.
The introduction of genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, marked a significant shift in agricultural practices. Monsanto's innovations promised to address many of the challenges faced by farmers, from pest resistance to drought tolerance.
Yeah, it wasn't just about higher yields, it was also about having crops that could withstand harsh conditions. This was a big deal for farmers trying to make a living.
As Monsanto's GMO seeds gained popularity, they became a cornerstone of modern agriculture, transforming the way food was produced around the world. In the United States, Monsanto's influence on agriculture cannot be overstated. Their products quickly became ubiquitous, fundamentally altering farming practices.
Before Monsanto's seeds, we had to deal with a lot of issues like pests and unpredictable weather. Their technology gave us tools to manage these problems more effectively.
With the adoption of Monsanto's seeds, many farmers experienced increased productivity and efficiency. However, this shift also brought about new challenges and dependencies.
It's true, we did become more reliant on their products. But at the same time, it allowed us to produce more food with fewer resources, which is a pretty big win.
The widespread use of Monsanto's seeds has had a lasting impact on U.S. agriculture, shaping the industry in profound ways. Despite the benefits touted by Monsanto, their products have also been the subject of significant controversy. Environmental and health concerns have been raised by various groups.
We need to consider the long-term effects of these products. The widespread use of herbicides, for example, has led to the emergence of resistant weeds, which is a serious problem.
Critics argue that the environmental impact of Monsanto's products cannot be ignored. The potential risks to biodiversity and ecosystem health are areas of ongoing debate.
And let's not forget about the health concerns. There have been numerous studies questioning the safety of GMOs and the chemicals used in conjunction with them. We need more transparency and rigorous testing.
The dialogue surrounding Monsanto's products is complex and multifaceted, reflecting the broader tensions between technological advancement and environmental stewardship. As we move forward, it's crucial to weigh the benefits against the potential risks. The environmental and health concerns surrounding Monsanto's products demand our attention and critical thinking. Let's stay informed, ask questions, and advocate for a sustainable and healthy future for all.
Welcome to Entrepreneurial Edge. In this video, we explore Nestlé's 150 years of food industry dominance. Stay tuned. I bet you didn't know how two separate ventures in the mid-1800s would forever change the food industry landscape. In 1845, a German pharmacist developed a groundbreaking infant formula, farine lactée. This life-saving product provided a safe and nutritious alternative for mothers unable to breastfeed. Meanwhile, in Switzerland, an American entrepreneur established the Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company in 1866. His innovative condensed milk, a shelf-stable and easily transportable dairy product, quickly gained popularity. Driven by a shared commitment to innovation and addressing nutritional needs, both Nestlé and Page's companies flourished. They expanded rapidly, establishing production facilities and distribution networks across Europe and beyond. Despite operating in distinct product categories, Nestlé and the Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company found themselves locked in fierce competition. Both companies recognized the need to diversify their offerings and expand into new markets. This rivalry, however, eventually gave way to a strategic alliance. Recognizing the synergistic potential of their combined expertise and resources, the two companies merged in 1905, forming the Nestlé and Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company. The merger marked a turning point in the history of both companies. It created a global powerhouse in the food and beverage industry, poised to capitalize on the growing demand for consumer goods in the 20th century. The newly formed Nestlé embraced a spirit of innovation, constantly seeking to develop new products and improve existing ones. In 1938, Nestlé introduced Nescafé, the world's first commercially successful instant coffee. Nescafé revolutionized coffee consumption, offering a convenient and flavorful alternative to traditional brewing methods. It quickly became a global sensation, solidifying Nestlé's reputation as a pioneer in the food industry. Beyond instant coffee, Nestlé expanded its product portfolio to encompass a wide range of categories, including chocolate, confectionery, culinary products, and pet food. Brands like Nesquik, Kit Kat, and Maggi became household names, synonymous with quality and taste. Navigating controversy, ethical challenges, and corporate responses. Nestlé's remarkable success has not been without its share of controversy. The company has faced criticism over its marketing practices, particularly concerning breast milk substitutes in developing countries. Critics argued that Nestlé's aggressive marketing of infant formula discouraged breastfeeding, potentially putting infants at risk in regions with limited access to clean water and sanitation. In response to these concerns, Nestlé adopted the World Health Organization's International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes and subsequent resolutions. The company committed to promoting breastfeeding as the best nutrition for infants and to responsible marketing practices. A global empire, Nestlé's reach and influence in the 21st century. Despite facing challenges and controversies, Nestlé has continued to thrive in the 21st century. Today, it stands as the world's largest food and beverage company, with a presence in over 180 countries. Nestlé's vast portfolio encompasses over 2,000 brands, catering to diverse consumer preferences and dietary needs. From bottled water to pet food, from chocolate to coffee, Nestlé's products touch the lives of billions of people worldwide. The company's success can be attributed to its unwavering focus on innovation, strategic acquisitions, and a deep understanding of consumer trends. Nestlé continues to invest heavily in research and development, seeking to create the next generation of food and beverage products. The future of food sustainability, nutrition, and the Nestlé legacy. As Nestlé looks to the future, it faces the challenge of balancing continued growth with increasing concerns about sustainability and nutrition. The company has pledged to reduce its environmental footprint, promote sustainable sourcing, and improve the nutritional value of its products. Nestlé's commitment to sustainability extends to its packaging, water usage, and carbon emissions. The company has set ambitious targets to reduce its environmental impact and contribute to a more sustainable future. A legacy in every cup, further exploring Nestlé's impact. Nestlé's 150-year journey is a testament to the transformative power of entrepreneurship, innovation, and a relentless focus on meeting consumer needs. From its humble beginnings to its current global dominance, Nestlé has left an undeniable mark on the food industry and the world. To learn more about Nestlé's fascinating history, its iconic brands, and its ongoing commitment to sustainability and nutrition, visit the company's website. Thank you for watching Entrepreneurial Edge. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more entrepreneurial insights. Welcome to Entrepreneurial Edge. In today's video, we explore how a $40 late fee revolutionized television and led to the creation of Netflix. I bet you didn't know a simple late fee could change the entertainment industry forever. A missed return date, a forgotten video, and then bam, a late fee that feels like a punch to the gut. For Reed Hastings, that punch came in the form of a $40 late fee for Apollo 13. $40. Now this wasn't your average case of oops, I forgot. This was a light bulb moment.
There has to be a better way, Hastings thought.
Little did he know, this frustration would spark a revolution, changing how we watch movies and TV forever. This wasn't just about a late fee, it was about the frustration of limited choices, inconvenient trips to the video store, and the fear of racking up more fees. Hastings envisioned a world without these hassles, a world where entertainment came to you, on your schedule, without the penalty box of late fees. This $40 seed of an idea would soon blossom into a global phenomenon, forever changing the entertainment landscape. The year was 1997. The internet was still finding its footing, and the thought of streaming videos was a futuristic fantasy. This is where Reed Hastings and his friend Mark Randolph took a leap of faith. Armed with Hastings' $40 epiphany and a shared love for technology, they launched Netflix. But this wasn't the Netflix we know and love today.
Their initial offering, DVD rentals by mail, a novel concept at a time when Blockbuster reigned supreme with its brick-and-mortar stores. People could browse a wider selection online, order with a click, and say goodbye to late fees. It was convenience at its finest.
Little did the world know, this was just the first act in the Netflix saga, a prelude to a future that would redefine home entertainment. In the late 90s, DVDs were the new kids on the block. Sleek, shiny, and promising better picture quality than bulky VHS tapes, they were the future of home entertainment. But they were also expensive, and players weren't exactly flying off the shelves. Netflix took a gamble, betting big on this nascent technology. It was a risk, but Hastings and Randolph had a hunch.
They believed in the power of DVDs to revolutionize how people watched movies. And they were right. The gamble paid off.
People were drawn to the convenience of Netflix's mail order system and the superior quality of DVDs. The company grew steadily, attracting a loyal customer base eager to embrace the future of home entertainment. Remember that $40 late fee? It wasn't just the inspiration for Netflix, it became the company's core principle. Netflix wanted to eliminate the frustration of late fees altogether. So they did something radical. They introduced a subscription model.
For a low monthly fee, subscribers could rent unlimited DVDs with no due dates, no late fees, and no hidden costs. It was a game changer.
This move was revolutionary. It shifted the power dynamic from the video store to the consumer. People loved the freedom and flexibility of the subscription model. No more rushing to return movies, no more late fees, just endless entertainment at their fingertips. This customer-centric approach would become a cornerstone of Netflix's success. David versus Goliath battling industry giants. Success, however, rarely comes easy. As Netflix's popularity grew, it attracted the attention of industry giants like Blockbuster and Walmart. These behemoths, with their vast resources and established customer bases, posed a significant threat.
Blockbuster even launched its own online DVD rental service, hoping to crush the upstart Netflix. It was a classic David versus Goliath battle. Netflix, the underdog, facing off against giants.
But Netflix had a secret weapon, its unwavering focus on customer experience. They continued to innovate, improve their website, and expand their DVD library. They knew that to survive, they had to outmaneuver, out-innovate, and out-customer service the competition. A turning point: DVDs become affordable. Netflix soars. By the early 2000s, DVDs became more affordable, and players were becoming commonplace in homes across America. This was a game changer for Netflix. The demand for their services skyrocketed. People embraced the convenience, affordability, and wider selection that Netflix offered.
Netflix's subscriber base swelled, and the company went public in 2002. Their gamble on DVDs had paid off, and they were now a major player in the entertainment industry. But Hastings wasn't content with resting on their laurels. He knew that to stay ahead of the curve, they needed to keep innovating, and he had a vision for the future that was even bolder than DVD rentals.
Conquering the world, one stream at a time. In 2007, Netflix made another game-changing move. They launched their streaming service. At the time, internet speeds were still relatively slow, and streaming video was a nascent technology. Many saw it as a risky move, but Hastings had a vision. He believed that streaming was the future of entertainment, and he was willing to bet big on it.
Initially, the streaming library was limited, but it grew rapidly. Netflix invested heavily in improving its streaming technology, making it faster and more reliable. They also started securing streaming rights for popular TV shows and movies. The world was starting to embrace streaming, and Netflix was leading the charge.
The crown jewel original content and a legacy defined. Netflix wasn't content with just being a distributor of entertainment, they wanted to create it. In 2013, they released their first original series, House of Cards, a political thriller that took the world by storm. It was a critical and commercial success, proving that Netflix was a serious player in the world of original content.
This was a pivotal moment. Netflix had not only disrupted the way people consumed entertainment, but they were now shaping it. They invested heavily in creating original content across a wide range of genres, from gripping dramas like Stranger Things and The Crown, to hilarious comedies like Orange is the New Black and BoJack Horseman. Netflix originals became synonymous with quality, captivating audiences worldwide and solidifying Netflix's position as a global entertainment giant.
From a $40 late fee to a global entertainment powerhouse, Netflix's journey is a testament to the power of innovation, risk-taking, and a relentless focus on the customer. Thank you for watching Entrepreneurial Edge. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories.
Welcome to Entrepreneurial Edge. Today we explore how Porsche became a legend. Stay tuned, Porsche. The name alone evokes a sense of speed, precision, and automotive artistry. It's a brand synonymous with power and performance. From the iconic 911 to the sleek Cayenne, Porsche has become a global symbol of success and aspiration. But behind every legend lies a story. And Porsche's journey is one of innovation, resilience, and an unwavering passion for pushing the boundaries of automotive engineering. This is the story of how a small German company, fueled by the dreams of a visionary engineer, became a global automotive powerhouse. It's a tale of triumph over adversity, of bold decisions, and of a relentless pursuit of excellence that has captivated generations of car enthusiasts. So buckle up and get ready to explore the fascinating world of Porsche. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to Entrepreneurial Edge for more inspiring stories. The electrifying vision of Ferdinand Porsche. Our story begins not with roaring engines, but with the quiet hum of electricity. Ferdinand Porsche, the man who would lend his name to the legendary brand, was a true pioneer of automotive technology. Born in 1875 in Bohemia, his fascination with electricity led him to develop one of the world's first hybrid vehicles, the Lohner Porsche Mixed-A Hybrid. This innovative vehicle, unveiled in 1900, showcased Porsche's forward-thinking approach to automotive engineering. It featured electric wheel hub motors, effectively making it one of the earliest examples of an all-wheel drive vehicle. The Lohner Porsche was a resounding success, setting multiple speed records and cementing Ferdinand Porsche's reputation as a brilliant engineer. This early success laid the foundation for what would become one of the most iconic automotive brands in history. Ferdinand Porsche's relentless pursuit of innovation and his unwavering belief in pushing the boundaries of what's possible would define the Porsche legacy for generations to come. From Beetle to Bars, a legacy interrupted. In the 1930s, Ferdinand Porsche was commissioned to design a people's car. The result was the Volkswagen Beetle, one of the best-selling vehicles of all time. After World War II, Porsche was imprisoned for his role in the war effort. Even behind bars, his passion for engineering never waned. Upon release, he was determined to rebuild and create a lasting legacy. The stage was set for the birth of the Porsche we know today. Rise of the Porsche 356. A star is born. In 1948, a legend was born. The Porsche 356, the first car to bear the Porsche name, rolled off the production line in Gmünd, Austria. This lightweight, rear-engined sports car was an instant hit. The 356's success wasn't just confined to the road, it also made its mark on the racetrack. In 1951, a Porsche 356 driven by Herbert Ling secured a class victory at the grueling 24 Hours of Le Mans race. This victory cemented the 356's reputation as a giant slayer. It established the Porsche brand as a serious contender in the automotive world. The Porsche 911, an automotive icon, is unleashed. In 1963, Porsche unveiled a car that would redefine the sports car segment, the Porsche 911. With its distinctive sloping roofline, powerful rear-mounted engine and exceptional handling, the 911 quickly became an icon. It was a car that captivated enthusiasts and left rivals trailing in its wake. Over the years, the 911 has undergone numerous iterations and updates. But through it all, it has remained true to its core principles: performance, precision, and timeless design. From the racetrack to the open road, the 911 has consistently pushed the boundaries of what a sports car can be. The 911's enduring appeal lies in its unique blend of performance and practicality. It's a car that's equally at home on a racetrack or a daily commute. The 911 is a testament to Porsche's commitment to engineering excellence and its unwavering focus on creating a truly exceptional driving experience. Expanding horizons, Porsche conquers new terrain. In the late 1990s, Porsche made a bold move. Facing declining sales and an uncertain future, the company decided to venture into uncharted territory, the SUV market. The result was the Porsche Cayenne, a high-performance SUV that combined Porsche's renowned handling and performance with the practicality of a family car. The Cayenne was a gamble that paid off handsomely. It quickly became Porsche's best-selling model, attracting a new generation of buyers to the brand. The success of the Cayenne demonstrated Porsche's ability to adapt and innovate, proving that the company could succeed beyond the realm of sports cars. The Cayenne's success paved the way for the introduction of the Macan, a smaller, more compact SUV that further expanded Porsche's reach into the lucrative SUV market. These two models have been instrumental in Porsche's continued success, ensuring the brand's relevance in an ever-changing automotive landscape. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to Entrepreneurial Edge for more inspiring stories. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Entrepreneurial Edge, where we uncover the secrets behind the world's most iconic businesses. Today, we're cracking open the fascinating story of Red Bull. From its humble beginnings in Thailand to its global domination as an energy drink giant, this is a tale of innovation, marketing genius, and a whole lot of caffeine. You know, when you think about a brand like Red Bull, you probably don't picture a small village in Thailand, do you? But that's exactly where this story begins. Our tale starts with a man named Chaleo Uvidya. He came from humble beginnings, a family of duck farmers. Chaleo had a knack for business, and he eventually founded his own pharmaceutical company, TC Pharmaceuticals. He saw an opportunity in the market, a need for a drink that could provide a boost to Thailand's hard-working laborers. And so in 1976, Krating Dang, which translates to red gaur, a type of wild bovine, was born. Chaleo wasn't just throwing ingredients together at random, he meticulously studied existing energy drinks that were popular among Thailand's wealthy elite. He took those formulas and adapted them, creating something unique to cater to the needs of everyday working people. The result? A drink packed with taurine, caffeine, B vitamins, and sugar, a recipe designed for maximum energy. And to really drive home the message of strength and power, he chose two charging gaurs as the logo, an image that would later become iconic worldwide. Fast forward to 1982, and our story takes us halfway across the world to Austria. Dietrich Mateschitz, an Austrian marketing executive, was on a business trip to Thailand when he stumbled upon Krating Dang. He saw beyond the simple drink. He saw a lifestyle, an attitude. And so, in a move straight out of a business school case study, Dietrich tracked down Chaleo and proposed a partnership. Now imagine this. Two guys from completely different worlds, different cultures, different languages, coming together with a shared vision. In 1984, Dietrich and Chaleo each put in $500,000 to form Red Bull GmbH. Dietrich knew he had to make some changes to make Krating Dang appeal to a Western audience. He decided to carbonate the drink, giving it that familiar fizz. And then came the masterstroke. He renamed it Red Bull, a simple, powerful name that transcended language barriers. Dietrich knew that to conquer the Western market, he couldn't just rely on traditional advertising. He needed to create a brand identity, a feeling, an experience that people would buy into. He positioned Red Bull as the drink for a younger, more active demographic, associating it with parties, extreme sports, and a non-stop lifestyle. Red Bull wasn't just quenching your thirst, it was giving you wings, literally, according to their now iconic slogan. This wasn't just marketing, it was genius. Red Bull's marketing strategy was anything but ordinary. Forget billboards and TV commercials, they went straight to the source, embedding themselves in the culture they wanted to capture. They hired students to promote the drink at parties, creating a grassroots buzz that money couldn't buy. They sponsored extreme sports events, associating their brand with adrenaline, adventure, and pushing boundaries. And it worked. By the early 1990s, Red Bull had taken Europe by storm. From Vienna to London to Paris, the iconic blue and silver can became ubiquitous, a symbol of energy and excitement. And then, in 1997, they set their sights on the United States, the land of opportunity. The response? Explosive. Red Bull's commitment to extreme sports went beyond simple sponsorships. They created their own events, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The Red Bull Flug Tag, where participants launched themselves off a platform in homemade flying machines, became a global sensation. They invested heavily in Formula One racing, creating Red Bull Racing, a team that would go on to win multiple championships. By 2011, Red Bull was pouring over $2.1 billion into marketing, a testament to their belief in the power of experiential marketing and sports sponsorships. Red Bull's meteoric rise wasn't without its bumps in the road. In 2013, the company faced a class action lawsuit in the United States over its iconic slogan, "Red Bull gives you wings." Despite the legal challenge, Red Bull's brand remained strong, proving that sometimes even negative publicity can't keep a good brand down. In 2012, Red Bull pulled off one of the most audacious marketing stunts in history, Red Bull Stratos. They sponsored Austrian skydiver Felix Baumgartner's jump from the edge of space, a death-defying feat that captivated the world. Millions watched live as Baumgartner plummeted towards Earth, breaking the sound barrier in the process. It was a marketing triumph, generating an estimated $6 billion in brand value for Red Bull. From a small village in Thailand to the global stage, Red Bull's story is a testament to the power of a good idea, a strong partnership, and marketing strategies that push the envelope. They've created a brand that's synonymous with energy, adventure, and pushing limits. Thanks for watching Entrepreneurial Edge. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more stories behind the brands you love. See you in the next video. Welcome to Entrepreneurial Edge. Today we explore the history of Boeing from planes to space. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You need to hear this if you're an aviation enthusiast. In 1916, William Boeing had a vision. He saw the future of aviation. William Boeing, a wealthy lumberman, founded Aero Products Company in Seattle, Washington. Just a year later, it became Boeing Airplane Company. Their early focus was on building seaplanes, well suited for the Pacific Northwest. The U.S. Navy became an important customer, using Boeing planes for training and reconnaissance during World War I. Boeing delivered seaplanes to the U.S. Navy, helping protect American interests at sea. The company's story was about to become intertwined with the fate of nations. World War I was a time of rapid innovation in aviation, and Boeing played a crucial role.
After the war, demand for military aircraft plummeted. Boeing faced a difficult choice. The company diversified, producing furniture, canoes, and even coffins to stay afloat.
Boeing never gave up on its aviation dreams, continuing to build planes, often at a loss. This dedication paid off as the aviation industry began to recover. The U.S. government saw the potential of airmail service, connecting distant cities and revolutionizing communication and commerce. Boeing saw an opportunity and was ready to seize it.
Boeing's resilience and adaptability during this period were crucial for its survival. The company was poised for a comeback.
Boeing's diversification during the post-war period was essential. Their expertise in woodworking translated well into furniture making, producing high-quality desks, chairs, and cabinets. Boeing even ventured into building luxurious Pullman cars for trains and a range of boats, from small canoes to larger yachts. Their willingness to explore new markets helped them weather the economic storms. These lessons proved invaluable as Boeing returned its focus to aviation. The company was now stronger and more resilient than ever. The U.S. government launched airmail service in the early 1920s, a game-changer for communication.
Boeing saw an opportunity to combine its aviation expertise with this burgeoning industry.
Boeing developed a series of successful mail planes, establishing itself as a leader in the aviation industry.
Boeing's planes became synonymous with reliability, helping connect communities and businesses across the country.
Airmail paved the way for commercial passenger travel, and Boeing recognized this trend early on. The company began designing aircraft that could carry both mail and passengers. This marked a turning point in Boeing's history. World War II saw a surge in demand for military aircraft, and Boeing answered the call.
Boeing played a pivotal role in the Allied victory.
The B-17 Flying Fortress became iconic for its durability and firepower.
Boeing's B-29 Superfortress was crucial in the Pacific Theater.
Boeing's factories worked around the clock, producing thousands of aircraft. The war solidified Boeing's position as an aviation powerhouse. The post-World War II era marked a new chapter in aviation with the advent of the jet engine.
The Boeing 707, introduced in 1958, was one of the first commercially successful jetliners.
The 707 made international travel faster and more accessible. Boeing continued to innovate with new jetliner designs like the 727, 737, and 747, transforming air travel.
The jet age was a time of immense growth for Boeing.
Boeing expanded its manufacturing capabilities to meet the soaring demand for jetliners. The company became a symbol of American technological prowess.
Boeing's planes were known for their safety, reliability, and comfort.
They connected people and cultures across the globe. Boeing was a leader in the global aviation industry. The 1970s brought new challenges for Boeing, including the oil crisis and increased competition from Airbus.
Boeing responded with innovation, developing fuel-efficient aircraft designs.
The 757 and 767 were well received by airlines. Competition with Airbus defined the aviation industry.
This competition led to safer, more efficient, and comfortable aircraft.
The late 20th and early 21st centuries saw significant changes for Boeing, including the merger with McDonnell Douglas in 1997.
Boeing continued to innovate, introducing the 777 in 1995.
The 777 was known for its long range and fuel efficiency. Boeing also focused on new technologies, investing in unmanned aerial vehicles and space exploration.
However, Boeing faced challenges, including high-profile incidents.
Boeing worked to address these issues and rebuild trust. The company remained committed to aerospace innovation. Boeing has a long and storied history in space exploration, playing a key role in the Apollo program and building the Saturn V rocket.
In recent years, Boeing has faced increased competition in the space industry from private companies like SpaceX.
SpaceX has developed reusable rockets and spacecraft, challenging Boeing's traditional dominance. Boeing has responded by developing new technologies and partnerships, including the CST-100 Starliner.
The competition between Boeing and SpaceX is pushing the boundaries of space exploration, leading to more innovation and lower costs.
Boeing's future in space exploration is promising. The company has a wealth of experience and expertise.
Boeing is well positioned to capitalize on the growing commercial space industry. The company continues to reach for the stars.
Boeing's journey is a testament to American ingenuity and resilience. From its humble beginnings in a Seattle boathouse to its status as a global aerospace giant,
the company has faced challenges but always emerged stronger.
Boeing's aircraft have connected people and cultures across the globe. Boeing's contributions to space exploration have inspired generations. As Boeing looks to the future, it faces new challenges and opportunities. The aviation and space industries are evolving rapidly.
Despite these challenges, Boeing's future is bright.
Boeing is well positioned to continue shaping the future of aerospace. Thank you for watching Entrepreneurial Edge. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content. Welcome to Entrepreneurial Edge. Today we explore how Microsoft saved Apple in this illuminating video. This is going to blow your mind. The story of Apple's resurgence is legendary. It's a narrative that has been told and retold, capturing the imagination of tech enthusiasts and business strategists alike. It's a tale of innovation, resilience, and strategic brilliance. Apple, once a pioneer in personal computing, found itself struggling to keep up with the rapidly evolving tech landscape. But it's also a story of an unlikely alliance. an alliance that many thought impossible, given the fierce rivalry between the two tech giants. This partnership would reshape the tech landscape. It was a bold move that required vision and a willingness to set aside differences for the greater good. It unfolded at a time when Apple teetered on the brink of collapse. The company was hemorrhaging money, and its future looked bleak. The year was 1997. Steve Jobs had just returned to the company he co-founded, bringing with him a renewed sense of purpose and direction. Microsoft, Apple's arch-rival, made a decision that would not only save Apple but also benefit Microsoft in the long run. It would invest $150 million in the struggling company. This infusion of cash was a lifeline that Apple desperately needed. This unexpected move shocked the industry. Analysts and competitors were left scrambling to understand the implications of this unprecedented partnership. It also played a pivotal role in Apple's remarkable turnaround. With the financial backing and a renewed focus on innovation, Apple began to reclaim its position as a leader in the tech world. This is the untold story of how Microsoft saved Apple, a story of rivalry turned partnership, and how it changed the course of tech history forever. In the early 1990s, Apple was losing its way. Its market share dwindled. The Macintosh, once a symbol of innovation, struggled to compete with cheaper and more compatible PCs. Apple clung to its closed ecosystem. It refused to license its operating system. This strategy backfired. PC manufacturers flocked to the more open Microsoft Windows. Apple's financial health deteriorated. By 1997, the company was nearing bankruptcy. Drastic measures were needed. In a dramatic turn of events, Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1997. His return marked a pivotal moment in the tech industry, as many were skeptical about whether he could revive the struggling company. He had been ousted from the company he co-founded over a decade earlier. The board had lost faith in his vision, leading to his departure in 1985, a move that left many wondering about Apple's future. Jobs was now the CEO of Next, a computer company Apple decided to acquire. This acquisition was not just about technology, it was about bringing back the innovative spirit that Jobs embodied. Upon his return, Jobs brought his trademark charisma. His presence alone was enough to reignite hope among employees and investors alike. He instilled a renewed sense of purpose. Jobs was a master at rallying his team, making them believe in the impossible and pushing them to achieve greatness. But Apple's financial situation was dire. The company was hemorrhaging money and its stock price had plummeted to an all-time low. The company was weeks away from running out of cash. Jobs needed a miracle. He had to make bold decisions and take risks to turn the tide and save Apple from the brink of bankruptcy. On August 6, 1997, at the Macworld Expo in Boston, a stunned audience witnessed the unthinkable. Bill Gates, the CEO of Microsoft, appeared on a giant screen. He announced a strategic partnership with Apple. Microsoft would invest $150 million in Apple by purchasing non-voting shares. The deal also included an agreement for Microsoft to develop Microsoft Office for Mac. Internet Explorer would become the default browser on the Mac. The impact of Microsoft's investment was immediate and profound. The $150 million cash infusion provided a much-needed lifeline for Apple. It reassured investors and instilled confidence in the company's future. The partnership also helped Apple shed its image as a loner in the industry. It signaled a new era of collaboration. This was crucial for Apple's long-term survival. A masterstroke by Gates. Bill Gates' decision to invest in Apple was a strategic masterstroke. It allowed Microsoft to sidestep mounting antitrust scrutiny. The U.S. Department of Justice had been investigating Microsoft for anti-competitive practices. The partnership with Apple demonstrated Microsoft's willingness to support even its fiercest competitor. This move ultimately resulted in minimal penalties for Microsoft. Cashing out too soon. Microsoft sold its Apple shares in 2003, citing a desire to focus on its own core businesses. The sale generated a modest profit for Microsoft. However, it would prove to be a costly decision in hindsight. Apple's fortunes were about to change dramatically with the introduction of the iPod and later the iPhone. Had Microsoft held on to its Apple shares, the investment would be worth hundreds of billions of dollars today. This missed opportunity underscores the difficulty of predicting the future even for the most astute investors. It also highlights the potential rewards of long-term strategic thinking. A legacy of collaboration. The partnership between Apple and Microsoft in 1997 remains a pivotal moment in business history. This collaboration was not just a simple business deal, it was a lifeline for Apple, which was struggling to stay afloat at the time. Microsoft's investment and support provided Apple with the resources it needed to innovate and grow. It saved Apple from collapse and paved the way for its extraordinary resurgence. The infusion of capital and the agreement to develop Microsoft Office for Mac were crucial steps that helped Apple regain its footing. This partnership allowed Apple to focus on what it did best, creating groundbreaking products that would eventually revolutionize the tech industry. It also showcased the complex relationship between competition and cooperation in the tech industry. While Apple and Microsoft were fierce competitors, they recognized the mutual benefits of working together. This collaboration demonstrated that even in a highly competitive market, companies could find ways to collaborate for mutual gain. The story serves as a reminder that even the fiercest rivals can find common ground when it benefits their strategic interests. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, two of the most iconic figures in tech history, set aside their differences to forge a partnership that would benefit both companies. Their collaboration is a testament to the power of strategic alliances. What other surprising partnerships have shaped the course of business history? From the collaboration between IBM and Intel to the alliance between Google and NASA, history is filled with examples of unexpected partnerships that have driven innovation and growth. These alliances often bring together diverse strengths and perspectives, leading to groundbreaking advancements. How can companies navigate the delicate balance between competition and collaboration in today's rapidly evolving marketplace? In an era of rapid technological change, companies must be agile and open to collaboration. By finding common ground and leveraging each other's strengths, businesses can drive innovation and achieve greater success in the competitive landscape of the modern tech industry. Thank you for watching Entrepreneurial Edge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories.
Fresh out of Stanford Business School, I had an unconventional idea brewing in my mind. It wasn't the typical corporate path that most of my peers were drawn to. My passion lay in athletics, particularly running, and I was convinced that high-quality, affordable running shoes could be sourced from Japan. My crazy idea, as some called it, stemmed from my belief that Japanese cameras could compete with German cameras, so why not Japanese shoes with German shoes? I envisioned a future where athletes could access the best footwear, enhancing their performance and pushing the boundaries of human potential. This vision led me to Japan in 1962. I met with Onitsuka, the makers of Tiger shoes, and managed to secure a distribution deal for the Western United States. It was a pivotal moment, the first concrete step towards realizing my dream. Armed with a suitcase full of samples, I returned home, eager to share my passion with the world. Little did I know that this was just the beginning of an incredible journey. My early days were a whirlwind of entrepreneurship. I sold shoes from the trunk of my car at track meets, driven by the belief in my product and the potential I saw in the market. My parents, though initially skeptical, lent their support, allowing me to use their basement as my first warehouse. It was during this time that I met Bill Bowerman, my former track coach from the University of Oregon. Bowerman, a visionary in his own right, shared my passion for running and saw the potential in my fledgling business. He became my partner, investing $500 and, more importantly, his innovative spirit.
Together, we officially founded Blue Ribbon Sports in 1964, a name inspired by our shared love for athletics and the pursuit of excellence. We were a small team, united by a common goal to bring the best running shoes to athletes everywhere.
Bill Bowerman wasn't just a coach, he was a tinkerer, constantly seeking ways to improve the performance of his athletes. He brought this same innovative spirit to Blue Ribbon Sports, tirelessly experimenting with new designs and materials.
One of my most significant breakthroughs came in 1966 with the creation of the Cortez. Inspired by a waffle iron, I developed a revolutionary sole that provided superior cushioning and traction. The Cortez was a game changer, quickly gaining popularity among runners and cementing our reputation for innovation.
Bowerman's relentless pursuit of excellence drove us to constantly push the boundaries of what was possible in athletic footwear. It was this dedication to innovation that laid the foundation for our future success. Growing pains. As demand for our shoes grew, we faced the inevitable challenges of scaling up. Our reliance on Onitsuka for manufacturing became a bottleneck, with production delays and quality inconsistencies hindering our growth. It became increasingly clear that to control our destiny, we needed to take charge of our own manufacturing. This realization marked a turning point in our journey, forcing us to confront the daunting task of establishing our own production facilities. Despite the risks and uncertainties, we knew this was a necessary step to achieve our long-term vision. It was a leap of faith, fueled by our unwavering belief in the potential of our brand and the growing demand for high-quality athletic footwear. The birth of Nike. In 1971, we made the momentous decision to break away from Onitsuka and establish our own brand. This marked the birth of Nike, named after the Greek goddess of victory, a fitting symbol for our aspirations. Along with the new name came a new logo, the iconic swoosh, designed by Carolyn Davidson, a graphic design student. The swoosh, representing the wing of the Greek goddess Nike, embodied speed, movement, and the spirit of victory. With a new brand identity and a renewed sense of purpose, we set out to establish ourselves as a force to be reckoned with in the world of athletic footwear. Global domination. We established our own manufacturing network, primarily in Japan, ensuring we had control over the quality and production of our shoes. We also invested heavily in marketing, signing up and coming athletes as brand ambassadors, a strategy that would become synonymous with Nike.
Our marketing brilliance was evident in our memorable campaigns and our ability to connect with athletes on an emotional level. We didn't just sell shoes, we sold aspiration, the belief that anyone could achieve their athletic dreams.
By 1989, Nike had become the dominant sportswear brand in America. Our journey from a small startup operating out of a basement to a global giant was a testament to the power of vision, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. It was a journey fueled by passion, perseverance, and a belief in the power of sport to inspire and unite.
In the heart of Seattle's bustling Pike Place market, a dream was brewing. It was 1971, a year that would mark the beginning of something extraordinary. 3 friends, Jerry Baldwin, Zev Siegel, and I, opened a small shop. We called it Starbucks, a name inspired by the classic tale of Moby Dick. Our passion? Fresh roasted, high-quality coffee beans. We were determined to bring the best coffee experience to our customers.
The aroma of freshly ground coffee filled the air. Customers were drawn in, captivated by the rich, inviting scent. They were eager to experience the rich flavors, savoring each sip as if it were a moment of pure bliss. Starbucks quickly gained a loyal following. People returned day after day, becoming part of our growing community. The founders were meticulous about their beans. They knew that the secret to great coffee lay in the details. They sourced the finest Arabica beans and roasted them with care, ensuring each batch met their high standards.
Word spread about this hidden gem in Seattle. It wasn't long before the name Starbucks was on everyone's lips. Coffee lovers from all over sought out Starbucks, eager to taste what everyone was talking about. The little shop was thriving, bustling with activity and the hum of conversation. Little did we know, a revolution was about to begin. A revolution that would not only change our lives, but also the way the world drank coffee. A revolution that would change the way the world drank coffee, making Starbucks a household name and a global phenomenon.
In 1982, a young Howard Schultz walked into Starbucks. He was captivated by what he saw and felt. The aroma, the energy, the passion for coffee resonated deeply with him. It was unlike anything he had experienced before. At the time, Schultz was working for a housewares company, where he was already familiar with the importance of quality products. He had just returned from a transformative trip to Italy, where he discovered something extraordinary.
Italy had ignited a spark in me. The coffee bars were more than just places to drink coffee. I was mesmerized by the Italian coffee culture, the craftsmanship, and the communal atmosphere. The bustling espresso bars, the sense of community, the art of coffee making. I saw an opportunity to bring this vibrant culture to America. I envisioned bringing this experience to America, creating a place where people could gather and enjoy high-quality coffee.
Schultz joined Starbucks that year, driven by his newfound vision. He became director of marketing and operations, a role that allowed him to influence the company's direction. He shared his vision with the founders, passionately explaining his ideas. He wanted to expand beyond selling beans and create a unique coffee experience. He proposed creating a third place, a concept that was revolutionary at the time. A place between home and work where people could relax, connect, and enjoy a cup of coffee in a welcoming environment. The founders were hesitant at first. They feared losing the charm of their original concept, but Schultz was persistent. He believed in his vision. In 1987, he convinced the founders to sell him Starbucks.
I wasted no time. I set about transforming Starbucks. I introduced espresso drinks. I created a warm and inviting atmosphere in our stores. I focused on customer service. I wanted every customer to feel like they were part of the Starbucks family.
The response was phenomenal. People embraced the Starbucks experience. The company grew rapidly. Schultz's vision was becoming a reality. Starbucks was no longer just a coffee shop. It was a cultural phenomenon.
Facing the heat challenges and reinvention. Throughout the 1990s, Starbucks expanded aggressively, opening new stores at a rapid pace. By the early 2000s, they had thousands of stores worldwide, becoming a global coffeehouse phenomenon. But with rapid growth came challenges, including maintaining the quality of their products and services.
The quality of the coffee and the customer experience began to suffer, leading to dissatisfaction among loyal patrons.
Schultz, who had stepped down as CEO in 2000, returned to the helm in 2008, ready to tackle these issues head-on. He was determined to revitalize the brand and restore its former glory.
We had to make some tough decisions. Closing underperforming stores was necessary to streamline operations. Investing in barista training was crucial to ensure consistent quality and improve customer satisfaction. Emphasizing quality and innovation became our focus, leading to the development of new and exciting coffee beverages.
Under Schultz's leadership, Starbucks regained its footing. They introduced new products like the Frappuccino, which became immensely popular. They embraced technology, launching a loyalty program and mobile ordering, making it easier for customers to enjoy their favorite drinks. Beyond coffee, a legacy of social impact. Schultz believed in using business as a force for good. He championed social responsibility initiatives.
Starbucks became known for providing healthcare benefits and tuition assistance to its employees.
Schultz stepped down as CEO again in 2016. He left behind a legacy of innovation, customer focus, and social impact. Starbucks, under his leadership, had become a global coffee giant.
Today, Starbucks continues to thrive. It remains committed to its core values of quality, connection, and social responsibility.
The company's journey is a testament to the power of a vision that transformed a small coffee shop into a global icon.
John Pierpont Morgan, or J.P. Morgan as he came to be known, was a towering figure in American finance. He left an indelible mark on the nation's economic landscape. Born in 1837, Morgan rose to become the preeminent financier of his era. He wielded unparalleled power and influence. Morgan orchestrated some of the largest mergers in history. He rescued the United States from financial ruin on multiple occasions. His legacy continues to shape the world of finance today. Morgan's story is one of ambition, ruthlessness, and a steadfast belief in the power of capital. He was a master strategist, adept at navigating the complex world of finance. Morgan possessed an uncanny ability to identify profitable opportunities. His ambition knew no bounds, and he stopped at nothing to achieve his goals. However, Morgan was more than just a ruthless capitalist. He was a complex figure with a deep appreciation for art and culture. Morgan was also a philanthropist, donating vast sums to charities and institutions. Despite his many contradictions, one thing is certain: J.P. Morgan left an unforgettable legacy on American finance and industry. His story continues to fascinate and inspire to this day. J.P. Morgan's path to financial dominance was paved by his privileged upbringing. He was born into a wealthy and influential family in Hartford, Connecticut. Junior Spencer Morgan, his father, was a prominent banker with international connections. The young Morgan benefited from the best education money could buy. He attended prestigious schools like the Boston English High School and later the University of Göttingen in Germany. However, life was not without its challenges. Morgan suffered from ill health in his youth, battling bouts of debilitating headaches. These experiences instilled in him a sense of resilience. They also fueled his ambition to prove himself worthy of his family's legacy. Junius, a stern and demanding figure, played a pivotal role in shaping his son's character. He instilled in JP a strong work ethic and a deep understanding of the financial world. The elder Morgan stressed the importance of integrity and discretion in business dealings. These values would become cornerstones of J.P. Morgan's own business practices. J.P. Morgan's formal entry into the world of finance began in 1857. He started his career at the New York banking firm of Duncan, Sherman and Company. This was a time of great economic volatility in the United States. The young Morgan quickly learned to navigate the ups and downs of the market. He demonstrated a keen eye for profitable investments. In 1861, Morgan took a decisive step in his career. He formed his own company, J. Pierpont Morgan and Company. This move marked the beginning of his rise to prominence. The company initially specialized in railroad bonds, a rapidly growing sector at the time. Morgan's shrewd investments and ability to raise capital quickly earned him a reputation as a formidable player in the world of finance. The American Civil War presented both challenges and opportunities for Morgan. He profited from wartime financing, supplying the Union Army with rifles. However, this deal, later known as the Hall Carbine Affair, would also attract controversy. It highlighted the ethical complexities of wartime profiteering. Despite the controversy, Morgan emerged from the Civil War with his reputation largely intact. He was ready to capitalize on the post-war economic boom. J.P. Morgan's name became synonymous with railroads in the late 19th century. He recognized the transformative potential of this burgeoning industry. Morgan saw an opportunity to consolidate the fragmented rail network. He aimed to bring order and efficiency to the industry. This led to his involvement in a series of mergers and acquisitions that would reshape the American railroad system. Morgan's approach to railroad consolidation, often referred to as Morganization, involved more than just financial engineering. He understood the importance of strong management and operational efficiency. He installed trusted associates in leadership positions within the newly merged railroad companies. This ensured that his investments would be managed effectively. Morgan's efforts transformed the railroad industry. He turned it into a more stable and profitable sector. His influence extended beyond railroads. Morgan played a key role in the formation of other industrial giants. He orchestrated the merger that created General Electric. He was also instrumental in consolidating the steel industry. His ability to bring order to chaotic markets earned him both admiration and criticism. Some saw him as a savior of American industry, while others viewed him as a ruthless manipulator. Pause 2S. As we delve into the legacy of J.P. Morgan, it's essential to understand the lasting impact of his work on today's financial systems and industries. Morgan's influence is not confined to the pages of history. It reverberates through the corridors of modern banking and corporate governance. His innovative approaches to finance and business consolidation set precedents that have become standard practices in the industry. From the way mergers and acquisitions are orchestrated to the principles of corporate management, Morgan's methodologies continue to guide contemporary financiers and executives. Furthermore, Morgan's role in stabilizing markets during times of economic turbulence laid the groundwork for modern financial safety nets. His interventions during financial crises, such as the Panic of 1907, showcased the importance of a central figure capable of restoring confidence and order. This concept eventually evolved into the establishment of the Federal Reserve System, a cornerstone of the U.S. financial infrastructure. Beyond the technical aspects of finance, Morgan's legacy also underscores the power of vision and leadership. His ability to foresee the potential of emerging industries and to act decisively in consolidating them has inspired countless entrepreneurs and business leaders. In conclusion, J.P. Morgan's legacy as a titan of finance continues to shape the world of banking and industry. His vision and determination laid the foundation for modern financial systems, and his impact is still felt today. Thank you for watching.